No, no. So, yeah, there's something. There's something up with my confusion because it is just. It is not. It is not doing video the way it should. So I don't know. But anyway, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP. To the Rebel Reaction Nxt Wargames. Um, let me go over the matches that happened tonight on War Games, and we'll review it and go from there. Feeling a bit under the weather right now, so we'll probably not go too long with this. But yeah, we can get started off. The first match with the women's War Game match. It was Raquel Gonzalez, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, and Cora Jade taking on Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. Toxic Attraction, of course, with Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC James. Kaylee and Dakota started it off, and it's something that they've been doing. They did it last year too. For some reason they're giving the baby faces the advantage. For some reason, I'm not sure why they're doing that, but they were doing it. So okay, whatever. Um, and my complaint with this match is the same that I had with it last year. It's too much about weapons. It's too much about weapons. They can't do blood, and that's okay. Maybe it does. Maybe it would need blood, but it doesn't need blood. And I don't know if we're going to do blood with the women anyway. Having said that, I just don't know. It's just you just go in and just just weapons galore, trash cans, tables, kendo sticks, chairs. Why? It's I don't know. I think it's kind of overdone and it's needed done. All right, good night. The thing is overdone, and it just kind of just needs to be done with, over and done with. I think there is a way that you can do war games without it being this car wreck. And the later match, it's kind of started to go that route. It's something that I was enjoying. But yeah, this one just it got into the weapons too quickly, too fast. And at one point when I believe it's a 3-on, is it a 3-on-2 advantage? It's either 3-on-2 advantage. No, I actually think it might be the 3-on-3. It might be 3-on-3 equally. Cora Jade, Kaylee Ray, and Io Shirai. They're in the ring. They're in the ring with Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Dakota Kai. And they go, and then while Io and Kaylee Ray are doing Rochambeau to figure out who's gonna go to the top rope, Cora Jade just says, "Fuck it, I'll do it." And she goes to the top. She goes to the top of the cage and comes off with a swan time on JC Jane through a table. And then, but while doing that, she hurts her shoulder. She hurts her shoulder, and then that becomes a part of the story now. The Cora Jade, the risk and the reward. The reward was putting her through a table, but the risk is now she's hurt her shoulder. And what's it going to be? And even at one point where she's trying to get to out, they got the doctors out and they're gonna pull her out. Io closes the door and says, "No, I got this," and she does the thing where she pops her shoulder back into place, and so then she continue on. So then Raquel Gonzalez comes down there and they take her business and they're taking care of Cora Jade. And And so then Mandy comes in, and now it's a four. It's basically 4-3 because Cora J can't do anything with their shows. And at one point, and they do this spot and they do this, and this is really it's. I kind of think this spot is kind of stupid. I don't know why they keep doing it. Um, but in one ring they have Raquel and her team. And Raquel, Io, and Kaylee Ray has kendo sticks, and the other team is the just Tyler Trash and Dakota Kai. Well, all of a sudden, Cora Jade, she's just out on her arm, and all of a sudden, Kaylee Ray, she starts walking towards Cora Jade, and Cora Jade is kind of backing up, like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing?" And and then all of a sudden, there's like a thing where she Dakota Kai comes to the top rope. She hits Dakota Kai with the stick. She throws the kendo stick to Cora Jade, and then they fight and they do all other things like this. And so they fight around, and Cora Jade goes crazy with the kendo stick. At one point, she's being cornered by all four women, on the other team. And she got the kendo stick, and she's going after them, and she's putting up her best. But then JC Jane is chica bombed by Raquel Gonzalez, and Cora Jade gets the victory. She pins Cora Jade, so she gets the victory 1, 2, 3. So there you have it. Cora Jade gets the victory. It's very interesting. That is very interesting. Because I said in my predictions video that to me, just because of what's going to happen in the men's match, I didn't think that they were going to do the thing where the woman would pin the face would get the pin to set up the next champion, the next championship, the next contender. No, but that could happen. I knew that it was going to be Io Shirai if they did do it. They showed up Cora Jade, and then on Twitter they were doing some back and forth on Twitter as well. So maybe they're setting up Mandy Rose versus Cora Jade for this New Year's Evil pay-per-view January 4th, right? So maybe or not pay-per-view, but it's going to be New Year's Evil special on television. So maybe that's what they're doing. But they got the win, and yeah, it was what it was. I give it 3 stars. It was entertaining, and it was okay. It was all right, some all right stuff. Again, I'm not a big fan of going garbage, and you may call me a hypocrite as I talk about the one later on, but there's a reason. But yeah, I just thought it was 3 stars. Next was NXT Tag Title match. This was Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly versus Imperium. And boy, oh boy, this match was something else. There was not a heat segment in this match. A normal tag match is like you get some babyface to shine a little bit. He'll take a little bit. The babyface shines again, and then we get a heat segment where the heel tag team gets heat on the babyface. They play babyface in peril, right? Play Ricky Morton, whatever you want to call it, right? Where the babyface is just getting beat down by the thing, so they can build to a hot tag to the other person, to the partner. That never happened. It never happened. There was never a sustained amount of heat, like a 5, 6, 7-minute segment of heat. And some guys in this new era, they do 2 heat segments. They do a heat segment on one, and then there's a hot tag to the other guy, and the other guy runs wild for a little bit. He gets caught up. He gets beat down, and they hot tag back to the other person to tag him back, and it's like that. But there was none of that. It was a frequent tag from both sides. This action, you want to talk about fast paced? This was fast paced. There was not one rest hold, not one stoppage in play, and nothing like that. And the star of this match was Fabian Eichner. because he was doing springboard moonsaults and doing springboard frog splashes, and he was incredible. Power spots, and we hit the finish where Colorado had he had Eigner in like a chokehold. Referee went to ring to raise his arm up. He stopped it. He powered up, tagged in the other one. I don't forget his name, and they did the Imperium bomb. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Imperium retains the tag titles. This one, it was incredible. As I was watching, starting off, the tag is going to be. I was wondering, is there going to be heat segment in this? No, there's not going to be a heat segment in this match. There's not going to be a heat segment. But they didn't need it. They did a really good job. It was entertaining. It was fun. 4.25 stars. I think this was really, really good. After the match, again, like we predicted, Von Wagner tried to turn on Colorado, but he felt it coming, and he knocked him out. And then later on in the evening, he challenged Von Wagner to a steel cage match on NXT 2.0 Tuesday. So Colorado's contract is up. He has apparently turned down the contract offer from WWE. He is not going to resign, apparently. So this might be his last. Tuesday might be Colorado's last time on air for NXT. So we will have to wait and see. Next is the hair versus hair match. Duke Hudson versus Cameron Grimes. There wasn't a lot there in this match. Everything they did was technically sound. Everything they did had some meaning to it, because obviously they wanted to shave their head, and it was all right, but it just didn't click as well as maybe people would have thought. Cameron Grimes won with a roll up, and he went ahead and then shaved some of Duke Hudson's hair off. Then shaved him all the way off. She shaved a little bit of it, and then Duke Hudson got out of the chair and ran away. But yeah, so I have it down here as 2.75. I'm gonna take a star off. I take a quarter star off, and I'm gonna say it was 2.5. That's what it more was like. It was more like 2.5 stars. So yeah, it was what it was, and it is what it is. Next was the Cruiserweight Championship. Roderick Strong versus Joe Gacy. Interesting about here, because Joe Gacy is not 205 pounds or less. He is way over, and he has his gimmick of wanting to be inclusive and everything like that, and not and basically the woke the woke members of our society to a fourth or fifth degree unknownly seen. But I'm sure there are probably a bunch of people out there like him for real who just have no fucking sense. But anyway, but yeah. So they had an okay match. Some of the things at one point, Roderick's outside, and he's got the Creed brothers with him, and he's kind of outside there, and they're trying to pick him up, and then Joe Gacy goes and flies over the top and lands on all three of them, and Joe Gacy gets up. Ivy now, who was a member of the Diamond Mine, excuse me. She's a member of the Diamond Mine, kind of walking towards Joe Gacy, but Harlan comes from behind and picks her up. And Joe Gacy goes, no, put her down. So he puts her down, he gets back in the ring, do a couple of reversals, and Joe Gacy gets hit with a backbreaker from Roderick Strong, 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong retains the Cruiserweight Championship. Like I said in my predictions video, if they're going to get rid of the Cruiserweight Championship, that's fine. That's dandy. I'm kind of for it. They don't need to put it on Joe Case to do so. They can whatever title they're going to create to make up for it, or they can just have Roderick Strong be that champion. Because that's a credible guy. That's incredible to really do and really think about doing. Is this if they're gonna get rid of it, still keep it on Roderick Strong. Because at some point they're gonna need to, if whatever they are, they're gonna need to have. I'm not sure when they will do this. But I would like to see it to the point where the Diamond Mine has all the gold. Diamond Mine has the championship, tag championship, the women's championship either now, and Roderick maybe holds the NXT championship. I'd like to see that maybe, and maybe we can still hold the Cruiserweight championship. Who knows? But yeah, um, yeah, good, fairly good match, really decent, 3 stars. And finally, the men's War Games match. Probably the last match of Johnny Gargano's career in NXT. Although I just saw something on Twitter that kind of said, well, no, he's not done with NXT yet. Let me see if I can maybe find it real quick. All right, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe. I don't see it. But there was something about maybe the Johnny Gargano wasn't done with it yet. Sean Ross Sapp is promoting. He's not promoting, but he is confirming a report from PW Insider that Jeff Hardy was sent home after what was called a rough night for him. That became evident as last night's live event match went on. Best wishes to Hardy. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he has. He did not. Oh boy. So yeah, it's now saying that he was sent home. Let's see. Okay, so let's see here. I'll get back. I'll get to the match in a second. This thing with Jeff Hardy has piqued my interest. So PW Insider is reporting that Jeff Hardy was not at the Corpus Christi, Texas show on Sunday night. PWI adds that he was sent home. Okay, damn it. And he was replaced by Rey Mysterio. Hardy worked at the show in Edinburgh, Texas on Saturday night with Xavier Woods and Drew McIntyre as his tag team partners against the Bloodline. According to reports, Hardy spent most of the match in the ring and he was worked over by Roman Reigns, but he became more sluggish as the match continued. When Hardy tagged out, he left the ring, then went into the crowd and never returned to celebrate with his tag team partner after the match ended. Security reportedly followed Hardy out into the crowd as that was obviously not planned. Hardy's last TV appearance was on SmackDown with he teamed with his last TV actually this last Friday. As of this writing, there's been no official statement on Hardy's situation. Yeah. Uh, yeah. hopefully this is Jeff Hardy working. This is Jeff Hardy WWE working everybody, and Jeff Hardy did not fall off the wagon or even worse, maybe just I don't know. Hopefully this is just being like work because he talked about in one interview about having something be a part of storyline, him being fired or something like that. Him being fired, being part of the storyline. So I don't know. Hopefully this is you know this is if we're obviously there's some great people on the thing, Sean Ross Sapp and other people. Hopefully we'll hear some. We'll get some more information throughout the week on Jeff Hardy, and when Friday's that to shoot happens, I'll be maybe be able to talk about it more in depth at that time. But that's gonna wish Hardy the best. Hopefully he is definitely on still on the wagon. Um, okay, so back to this War Games match, Smith's War Games match. It's Johnny Gargano's last match. And I think we're yeah. Okay, so this is where I read this is the same place. Okay, so here's what it says: Johnny Gargano not yet with WWE. Johnny Gargano may have wrestled at his last War Games show, but he is not done yet with NXT. After the show went up there, Gargano told the fans that he would tell all this Tuesday night on NXT 2.0. This does not mean he has signed a new contract. In fact, his deal expired December 3rd, but he signed a 1-week extension, which means that he will become a free agent on the 10th. He hasn't committed to staying, then this is likely WWE's way to get some extra juice out of him for proper rating on Tuesday night. Also, Kyle O'Reilly may be leaving, but before he departs, he will face former tag team partner Braun right here this Tuesday. Like I said, as that last word, both O'Reilly and Gargano have not signed new deals, but WWE wants to keep them both. If they don't sign them, there's a good chance they'll end up in AEW. I don't know about that. Maybe Kyle O'Reilly, yes, because Fish and Cole are there, but I don't know. It seems like they're Gargano wouldn't pop up there. He might be best work for Impact. But anyway, yeah, that was the thing I was telling you about earlier. So it started off with Gargano and Carmelo Hayes. Gargano came out to Rebel Heart, not this old music, and so his trunks were like a combination of all the trunks he's ever wore at takeovers. It was like a combination of all of those trunks, and so yeah, and he was really good at one point. I don't know when exactly it happened, but he seemed to have kind of get busted open somehow. They said it was from the kick, from a side kick from Grayson Waller, who moved next in because they did it right. They had the heels come in, so there was one about that. But there was it was. That you just never knew. So I was gonna sneeze there. Um, so but yeah, but who knows? It might have been like it got an elbow from what's his face, Carmelo Hayes earlier, and when they in the 5 minutes that they were going. So who knows when it happened? But anyway, it was as Cornette would call it was fortunate juice. Um, not too much of it. Just enough to know that he had been hurt. Um, so yeah, and then Grayson Waller came out, and then who was next? Pete Dunne came out, and they were wrestling. They were in the wrestling. They were in there fighting, and it was like, yes, well, this is awesome. This is truly awesome. And so then the next guy from heels is Tony D'Angelo. He comes out, and when he comes out, here comes the plunder. They bring in, and I mean, it's such everything. It's chairs, it's tables, it's crutches, it's crowbars, it's chains, it's everything. There's no reason for them to for this. I mean, it was going so well without it. It really was for fun. But with the four of them in the ring, Pete Dunne, Gargano, Hayes, and Waller, they were getting this awesome chant already. So you didn't need to go to the plunder. You don't need to do that. You really don't. You can do Wargames match or just wrestling, and you can do it without blood as well. You just do some spectacular spots, and even if it's just maybe one chair, or bring in a chain or something like that, that's fine. I think there may have been some war games in the past from the NWA WCW play things where it was like that, where somebody brought in a chain or something like that to beat it up, but it was not needed. All the plunder was not needed. At one point, Trick Williams, who himself got busted open somehow, I'm not sure how he got it. He threw a chair into the ring and he was starting to climb in, and Gargano hit the side of the cage with him on it. So maybe that's how he got it. I don't know. But he went under the ring to get more plunder, and out came Dexter Lumis. And Dexter Lumis came out, gave a thumbs up to Johnny Gargano, and he chased Trick Williams to the back. And then Tony D'Angelo with the chain and also a locked the cage in though. So LA Knight came down, he tried to get in, couldn't do it. And so he climbed up the thing, and then Braun Breaker was last for the NXT 2.0. And then they had the referees out there trying to break. He said, "Let me do it." He did it, and he couldn't do it as well. They don't do well with chains. They don't really do well with chains. It really is kind of a simple thing. It's I don't know. I'm sure what it is that the thing to do was just to clip the lock. That's the way to do it. And clip the little lock. The lock it wasn't like one of the big locks. The lock was one of those small little tiny locks with a very thin clicker, very thin clicker. Even easy to click with the lock cutter, bolt cutter. But he was trying to do the chain, and I don't think necessarily. And he finally got it, and he finally went in. I mean, so Ciampa came in. They fought for another 15 minutes after that, and then finally, after doing some DIY spots, of course. Some other things. Finally, a nice spot was they set up a table. Rachel Waller was going to be suplexed on it, and then they pushed him off, and then LA Knight got on it and kind of suplexed him off through a table. How you supposed to do it, Cody? That's how you supposed to do it. So yeah, that went down, and then Braun Breaker speared Ciampa through a table while he was getting ready to give the fairy tale ending to Carmelo Hayes. Picked him up with the Gorilla Press to press slam 1, 2, 3. NXT 2.0 is the winners. Listen, I even though there was too much plunder and garbage for me in the ring, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I thought it was really, really fun and really, really entertaining. I really did. All right, y'all. So that's going to be it. I went a lot longer than I wanted to, almost 30 minutes. So, but yeah, once again, we hope Jeff Hardy is fine. This was a pretty good show. Two matches over 4 stars. We're no longer in the takeover era where every match is going to be 4 stars above. It's just not anymore. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be because it's still a good show. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Next Rebel Reaction is going to be day 1 on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, January 1st. See you then. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.